Don't be a fool, my dear, your friends have you learned your lesson? We've been destroyed by men who want to take our land into their hands. So let's come together, Africa. Let there be no more war. I want to stop all this fighting. Lord, I beg to stop all your trouble. We don't want no more crying. Together we stay, oh love, the better we'll be. The better we say, what's gonna be, gonna be. I want to stop all this fighting. Love, I beg to stop all your trouble. So we don't want no more crying. If there is no peace, there will never be love. There will never be love. United we stand. United we stand. But divided we fall. But divided we fall. I'd rather be loved. I'd rather be loved than to be hated. Than to be hated. Try to be careful in things you do, not to hurt your enemy. And don't you forget we all are God, children of the universe. So let's be at one as we grow up, and let there be no more war. I want to stop all this fighting. Love, no, I ain't lying. I beg to stop all your trouble. So we don't want no more crying. Together we stay. The better we'll be. The better we say. What's gonna be, gonna be. I want to stop all this fighting. Love, no, I ain't lying. I beg to stop all your trouble. We don't want no more crying. If there is no peace, there will never be love. There will never be love. United we stand. United we stand. But divided we fall. But divided we fall. I'd rather be loved. I'd rather be loved than to be hated. Than to be hated. If there is no peace, there will never be love. Let there be no more war. There will never be love.
Good evening, Good day, wherever you are. Welcome. Tonight, I might be a bit over time because I have some issues to speak to and clear up. You see my face, I don't appear to be a very happy man. I don't appear to be happy not because I am personally not happy. Generally, it's a sad thing here. We have a country where too much is going on. And I keep asking myself, where is leadership? You know, I'm not going to join a group of people to ask, how did we get here? I know how we got here. I refuse to join us reaching here. The question we should be asking to find answers to is, how do we get out of here? Let me repeat. I'm not going to join a queue of people to ask, how did we get here? No. The question, I know how we got here. I refuse to join the group that brought us here. The question we all should be asking, including those who are asking the question, how did we get here? The question, we're already here. Deep inside here. The question we should be asking now is, how do we get out of here? When do we get out of here? Before going further into this discussion tonight, let me say happy pre-Abraham Day to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters home and abroad around the world. Happy Abraham's Day tomorrow, pre-Abraham's Day. It is our prayer that Allah will bless you, will be merciful. He will look upon you with favor. He will cause us to live together as brothers and sisters, as one people. And may Allah cause His light to shine upon you. May Allah's name be praised. Amen. Let me start off with the hot button issue today, Grand Jita. You know, let's be careful so that the way we present this thing will not deepen the wounds. The people of Grand Jita, in my view, did not go to meeting to be rude, disorderly, and violent. It is some elements of that county led by the county superintendent under the instruction from Monrovia. Let me repeat. It is the superintendent of Grand Jita County and a gang of people in Grand Jita County under the instruction from Monrovia that did what they did today to Mr. Alexander Cummins and Representative Yeke Koluba. We condemn this act. It is totally unacceptable and it is uncivilized. It should not happen in any part of this country. We should not tolerate it. We should not find any reason to to whitewash it. It is just off. It is wrong. But you know the Bible says when it rains, the rain falls both on the righteous and the unrighteous. The same is when the sun shines. It shines both on the righteous and the unrighteous. So the very good people of Grand Judea County, home and abroad, are feeling so down, ashamed, and disappointed of what happened today in their county. So as responsible people, mature people, civilized people, we should not cast aspersions on all of the people of Grand Judea County. Just like that. It will be unfair and it will just be wrong. The hooligans who did that today must be called out, exposed, condemned, and likely must be brought to justice. Whether they will be brought to justice is another thing. You know, most time when people say opposition weak, opposition can just talk, sometimes what do you want us to do? Take guns? Sometimes what do you want us to do? Take rock, throw stones? Sometimes what do you want us to do? Go and hijack and collar, how we can call it, collar George Weah and shake him? Just slap his head so he can wake up small? What the opposition can do is to expose what happened, frown on what happened, and call on the government to take appropriate action. Sadly, when it is a government-sanctioned action or act of violence, then it is what it is. So let me say this. We thank God for the safety of Mr. Cummins and Representative Yeke Koluba from the unfortunate violent incident today in Grand Judea County. We frown on that incident and we wish Mr. Cummins and our own Yeke Koluba well. We are sorry about the people who sustained injury, whether they were part of the gang that carry on the act of violence, innocent people as well. We are sorry. It should not have happened. But when you have a leader who is a child, no sense of direction, no purpose, it's a problem. When you have a very divisive, deep-seated hatred leader or dictator, it's a problem. The real truth is that George Weah is goddamn bad for this country. But we have to reach here so that when we leave from here, we know what to do with what we got from here. We have to sink this low. Mr. Cummins said we would not tolerate this, and he spoke for CPP. He spoke the mind for and on behalf of CPP. Let me make this clear. We will not tolerate this going forward. Keep this video. We will not tolerate this going forward. It won't happen again. Since this morning, no arrest of anybody. Since this morning, no statement of concern. I'm talking about condemnation here though. No statement of concern from the government. Do you expect the president to speak to this? No. You don't speak to what you orchestrate. You don't speak to what you authorize. You don't expect him to speak. Because it is my view. Because action speaks louder than word. It is my view that it is the president who sanctioned, authorized what happened today to Mr. Cummins and Representative Yeke Koluba in Grand Judea County. Sadly, You don't have a legislature in majority to depend on. I put this thing in the Senate chat room. Not a word from the Senate leadership. That the country is dying, violence is taking place, the country is angry, the world is watching. Where are the quote-unquote elders of the land? The Senate chat room is quiet. And somebody would think that I am just about Nyombi Kanga Lawrence. Nyombi Kanga Lawrence is the only person who spoke to that. The Senate chat room is deafening silent. Not a word. But let's just say, what time our pay coming? All I will join that chat room. Why our pay delay? All I will join in the chat room. The Inter-Religious Council met with me yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And I gave them the peace of my mind. I respect those people. They are religious people. They are bishops, they are imams. They came to express their concern with comments we made. And we told them what the comment we made and why. And but we stand by the comment we made. The caveat that we made, we stand by it. You see, I'm not forced to be senator. I desire to be senator because there's passion in me to serve this country, to give back what I believe I can give back to this country for change and progress. I'm not forced to be senator. I'm not desperate. The people who put me in office, if they look at my scorecard and say, you fail, we can retain you, it is their will. I will thank them. I will come home to Ghana, and I will still speak to issues in the country as a citizen. Because I learned from Barack Obama, he says, the most powerful office in a democracy is the office of citizen. The most powerful office in any democracy is the office of citizen. So I'm a citizen first before I ask you to give me the opportunity and the chance to serve you with what I have in me for us to change this country. So if it is the desire, the will of the people going to the ballot box and say, just how we put you here, we'll be moving you, I will thank the people. I will come home to Ghana, and then I will become an ordinary citizen again, but doing my duty as a citizen in a civic way like I was doing before I became senator. But if it is the decision of people to thwart the desire, the will of the people to retain us in the office, just how you thwarting the people's will thwart your stay in office. I, Abraham Darius Dillon, I'm saying it on live camera. Let me repeat. When the people go to the ballot box in keeping with a credible process and vote us out of office, in keeping with their will, we thank them, we accept the result, we come home, we respect whomever the people put it. That's democracy. Because democracy is about the choice and the will of the people. But if anybody, any soul, including George Weah as president, dares it to thwart the people's desire for us to continue serving them. Just as you thwarting the people's desire, the people will thwart your stay in office. Period. If this is not a caveat, you want to take it for threat, it's up to you. And I'm speaking to Mr. Weir and his gang. Before I lay off on this issue, let me say this. I was elected by the grace and intervention of God and by the people. CPP, UP, ANC, Liberty Party, ALP, non-partisans of CPP, people with independent view without political connection. Of course, yes, some citizens, and I got to give it to them. But hey, partisans of CPP, associates of COP, non-partisans who saw something in us or decided to give us a try. Don't make CDC and George Weah and his gang give any impression that they were so angry with George Weah, that is why they voted us in office. It's a blinking lie. It's a deception to make themselves feel good. It is a deception to make themselves feel good. When you put CPP together as a common unit, we win CDC any day. For them to have this shameful or shameless audacity to make believe that it was their anger or their disappointment in George Weah caused them to vote us, so they're happy now they will vote against us. Sit down there and let the people make you feel that you did not vote us into office. CPP, UP, ALP, ANC, Liberty Party, you Liberians with no political affiliation who decided to give us a try in that office. You can't continue to sit and this CDC gang make you believe that your vote did not matter in putting us in office. It was their vote. Weahians don't vote against anything Weah. If Weah put dog on the ballot, they will vote the dog. Even if they're hungry and Weah's stomach is full. You know, the reason why I don't take kindly to this is because it is a disrespect to your vote. It is a disrespect to CPP numbers to think one group of Weahians could leave George Weah to come vote for us. There are citizens who got good sense of rationality. Citizens, Weahians will vote anything Weah. Anything CDC. Don't make them put it on any pressure that they gave us the victory we have. We appreciate the few that voted, yes. We appreciate the few that may vote, yes. But CPP, God first. It was the doing of God and the determination of CPP together, including those with no political affiliation, home and abroad, that gave us this victory. That shameless audacity that George Weah and his people spinning around, that, oh, well, that one, you go get first more and vote against me. Let my people be happy and vote for us. Then we'll see who has the number. It's a challenge. You who say you are vexed with your George Weah, that way you voted for me, get vexed now with me and vote against me. And let my people be happy, vote for us. We'll see who has the number with no attempt to wreck the process. There's nonsense about citizens voted all and they were very voted all needs to stop and stop now. Let me repeat, I'm not desperate to be senator. Like George Weah then desperate for power to be president without having any governance ability or leadership. No. Not at all. The people who voted us are not disappointed, I believe. The people who were doubting our ability to stand for them in this country and to shake the table, to do constructive disruption of the normal wrong in the Liberian Senate or the legislature as a whole, or in the system to expose it as a whole, those people who want to believe their doubt has been erased. And they can't wait for December 8th to vote. That nonsense about CDC voted for me because they were angry with George Weah. Everything that they were supposed to be angry about have gotten worse. So I don't see what happiness it brings to them to say they're happy now to go vote against me. They were going to vote against us anyway because George Weah said if he puts dog on the table, they should vote for the dog. If they bring their rogue, they should vote for their rogue. Let me name some of the rogues. CDC protested against Ellis Tyler and named him Corruption King Kong. He was Speaker of the House of Representatives for about 10 years under the Ellen regime. They passed on all of the concession agreements that CDC say were bogus today. Tyler is now supposed to be a changed man contesting on CDC ticket in bombing. He is supposed to be a transformed rogue in the eye of CDC. Gray was in the legislature when they passed those bills, those agreements. Thomas Farrar was in the legislature from the day Ellen became president. He stayed there and Ellen left. They passed on all of those agreements. Finley was in the legislature from the day Ellen became president until 2014. He was even leader of the Liberian Senate when they were passing all of those agreements. Today he's on CDC ticket. They bunch of people who don't think for themselves and think that other people stupid and don't have any sense of reasoning need to be taught some very tough and hard lesson. Sometimes our meekness can be misconstrued to mean weakness. No, being meek, being mature, being calm, having different mature or responsible means by which you can approach things does not mean that you are weak. We are not weak. We are not weak. We are only meek and humble, but we got courage to do things and to get things done. George Tengbe was in the legislature when they passed those agreements. He just joined CDC. They put him on a ticket in Lofa. What kind of change these people can be talking about? Who again? Kai Fale. Kai Fale is a notorious rebel. You talk about Yeke, and you get Kai Fale. And you get Kai Fale as superintendent of a county. You talk about Yeke fighting war. Yeke was a child soldier. I'm not here to make excuses for Yeke. Yeke said even as a child soldier, he won war crime code. CDC, you bring war crime code so we can carry Kai Fale and Yeke then there. Let's do it. Then we know who's serious to change the story of this country. Kai Fale them. Eugene Namwe was minister of 4 ministries under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Where is he today? In the George Weah-led administration. And every time people talking about governance issue, Eugene Namwe has the audacity. We are God character for 4 ministries under Ellen administration. Eugene Namwe. These are the people who are see and are called them spineless. We are God and national character to hold public office. These are the people. Emmanuel Shaw. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf attempted to appoint Emmanuel Shaw to head the board at RRA. CDC demonstrated they say he lacked the character. Ellen listened to them and withdrew Emmanuel Shaw. Where is Emmanuel Shaw today? Right inside George Weah's office. From the day George Weah became president, Emmanuel Shaw been right near him. In the eye of these Weahians, Emmanuel Shaw is a changed man. These are the people we're dealing with. These are the people we're dealing with. They have no feeling for themselves. They got no concern about the 9-month pains of their parents. They just on remote control and autopilot. You don't hear over them. All you do is to fight for them. A statement that is attributed to Harriet Tubman during the emancipation of blacks in America. A statement attributed to her is that she said, and I quote, "I freed 1,000 persons from slavery. I could have freed another 1,000 if only those other 1,000 knew that they were slaves. I freed 1,000 slaves from slavery. I could have freed another 1,000 only if the other 1,000 knew that they were slaves." There's some people who in their condition don't even appreciate that they're in that condition. So even if you want to fight for them, they fight you for fighting for them. because they don't even know the slave. Those kind of people, don't bother them. Fight for them. Forgive them. Fight for them. Don't ignore them. Don't abandon them. Just fight for them. And those are the kind of people we're fighting for, to free themselves from where they are. We will not get tired because we mean it. We mean to free this country, free our people's mentality, their attitude, and bring it to a place where we can see the national issues from a broader perspective with an open mind as citizens first, not as partisans first. The whole day, you can insult president. Look, I don't condone insults, especially foul words, but it seems to me that truth, honor George Weah means insult. George Weah became president, built mansions that he could not afford to build on his own before he became president. When you call his wealth questionable wealth, then an insult. You can't say truth in the country, then you're insulting the man. Now, I'm not backing Yeke for going below the belt sometimes. But you see, these people have decided, they have placed Yeke Koluba in a place where his mentor, you can't psychologically harass and terrorize one person like that. Yeke is a representative. He got right to question issues. He got right to raise concerns. His manner of raising some of these issues, of course, we don't like it. We don't condone it. But that's Yeke. But the issues he's raising, are they lie? Are they false? Close your eye to the manner that he can raise those issues. But the issues he's raising, are they lies? Are they false? Why would one man ask questions? Yeke is being mentally harassed. The young man is not at peace. His family order here because he prepared to put his chest on the bullet for this country and for you. He refused to back to the golden image. I'm not going to leave Yeke standing alone or abandoned for 1 second just because somebody liked his approach. What is he talking about? Stop stealing. If he call you a greedy hunter or rogue, stop stealing. Then he will not call you greedy hunter and rogue. The man calls I don't condone it. Description of what you're doing is not insult. It's not disrespect. It's not disrespect. Yeke can shake. Yeke is the only person who, even at the law call for legislators taking a tail lane to go to work with everybody here doing it in government, then Yeke is the only person who's supposed to be arrested. Yeke is the only person who, even when he's sleeping and his bodyguard did something outside without his knowledge and consent and authority, he's the only person who's supposed to go to court, even as a lawmaker. When it happens to a coward great the same, then nothing should happen. Then nothing should happen. What is this? And then somebody talking about moral compass, why we condemn Yeke on this side. We will not condemn Yeke for speaking out onto issues. We will caution him, we will frown on him for the manner in which he can raise some of these issues. The manner. But the issue he's raising, they are not lies. They are not. And we will not throw Yeke under the bucket and under the sink just to please one golden image that wrecking this country. It will not happen. It won't happen. How many of us got our wives and children out of here, out of fear that they will go after them because we have the bold courage to go after the tyrant, to press for good governance? How many? Yeke wife and children are here. Before Yeke travel out of the place, a big headache for him. Yeke can't even get up before 6 o'clock in the evening, after 6 o'clock in the evening. What is that? What is that? Yeke role as a lawmaker is to question. That's what they call oversight. You won't provide oversight, then they question you. They say you hit the ball. What is that? That nonsense got to stop. It has to stop. We'll stand by Yeke. We'll continue to frown on some of the way he presents his things, but the things he's presenting are the issues that we should address. Then he won't get annoyed to present them the way he does. Superintendent of Grand Jida said Cummins and Yeke he informed him that they were coming to Grand Jida. You see the mental problem these people have? And the president had not said a word. The government through the Ministry of Information, has not said a word. About a month ago, some young people set some used tire ablaze in the name of protesting against the increase in data tariff. The government issued a statement the same morning, attempted to arrest those people the same morning, and they blew a big deal that they detest violence. The federal government had not said a word, where the political leader and the chairman of the 4 biggest opposition political parties in the country was personally in danger today. On the instruction of the superintendent of a county, aided and abetted by the president and his gang. They have not said a word. And somebody expect us to be clapping and be presenting biscuit. Is that how we want to lead this country? No. That's not how we should lead this country. That's not how. When COP, the Council of Patriots, we say we want to do peaceful, orderly protest to present petition to this government to listen to the cries of the people, they make the country terrifying. That, oh, protest, it will turn to riot, it will turn chaotic. These are the same people who are spying. They can't even utter a word. Before I talk about arrest one person. Election violence. Let me tell you something. The clouds are gathering. The dark clouds are gathering. If George Weah, as president, and his goons think or imagine that they can cover some of us into submission, they better think again. Dillon, Darius Dillon, Herman Costa, CPP, the Liberian people. Maybe George Weah 53, but maybe he ain't grow or mature enough to understand what the country went through. Maybe the fun time you were playing football, the stardom of playing football, he really doesn't understand the magnitude of the problem this country went through and where we are as a people craving for change. He doesn't understand that. Maybe he thinks changing his clothes and wearing new clothes and going to see his compound every day. And he's living that life he had wished to live but had no means to live it. Living that life now on the back of the people. He doesn't fully appreciate what this country went through. He doesn't. That is why as a leader, he's not putting his foot down. He's not. Today, the violence, chaotic violence in District 13, where my political leader, Nyomdi Kanga Lawrence, was bodily taken out of my car by good Samaritans, we want to put it. We didn't know those people. Or at least at the time. They ran to our car. She was sitting in the car with me. Her car was behind us. When Jefferson Koji then were coming with cutlasses, throwing stones. And the whole place was chaotic and confusing. I had to balance myself because she was in the car. First, she's my political leader. And second, she's a female. She's a woman. She's a mother. I saw her. I decided that I would be the man and not show any sign of panic. So as not to break her down. Until somebody ran to the car and said, "Your car, let me carry you to my house." At that point, we didn't even know that person. All we wanted to do was to carry Nyomdi to safety. That person or those group of persons could have been one of those who were coming after us. We were going in their homes and they would have cornered us there and they would have slaughtered this woman. But it didn't turn out that way. We believe those people were angels sent by God just at that time. Blood spilled. Property damaged. Colonial crowd panicked. She ran out of there. It put fear in some of her people from going to vote on election day. Now, one report yet from the police, the violence of District 13. District 15, the psychological trauma they put teliur on them. Imagine you in a house and you can vividly see them spilling gasoline around the house to burn you and your people in that house alive. Now, one report from the police telling a U.S. car was busted up, damaged. Now, one report of arrest or prosecution of anybody. That same day, President George Weah went to that District 15 to campaign for Abu Kamara and did not say a word of condemnation of the violent incident that took place, because his people were effectuating. They were implementing and enforcing his own command that you must flog that leg, because once my name George Weah am president of this country, no UA will ever will be elected in this country. Once I am George Weah, I am president, no UA will be elected. And they terrorized District 15. They terrorized District 15. You know, when you know the police for you, they can give you gun, or they can use their gun to intimidate your opponent. On voting day, you will come out. When the citizens know that the police will not protect them, sometimes it intimidates them from coming out. That's how George Weah then raped District 15 from Telia. And they think that they can do it again, since District 15 violent, chaotic situation. Now one report, now one arrest. So they go around, they will win, they must take Montserrado seat at all costs. At all costs, including taking Darius Dillon's life. And sometimes when you're saying it, these things they call Weah Yens. Let me repeat, these things they call Weah Yens. Say, you're crying too soon. Yes, I'm crying too soon for you. I'm crying too soon for you. You don't see dictatorship yet. Especially a dictator who is grossly inept in the first place. Who feels insecure at the slightest correction of any wrong or error or blunder. Just to do a harmless, good-intentioned correction of the president, he thinks you're exposing his limitations. So he becomes dictatorial. He becomes arrogant about taking your advice or correction for common good. You don't see dictatorship yet. Probably if we thought Doe was one, if we thought Taylor was, or his administration was despotic, welcome. Hello? Welcome. Welcome. Let's sit down and let George Weah sit down in a wetsuit and a pink Scooby and rig the election from under us. Forget about me. I'm the guy on the ballot. But this election is not about Dillon. It's about the democracy and the survival of this country. You cause George Weah then to rig this election, goodbye to 2023 already. Even the people who are on the fence, hoping that this thing will soon change, will decide now that, even the international community will now decide that these people can just talk in our country. Anytime for election, anybody the man want that the people can vote for. So no need to. Let me tell you something. Any attempt for us to sit as cowards and allow this gang of people to rig the election. Forget Montserrado. They're planning for other countries. What the Danny Grand Jeter today is the tip of the iceberg. That as we campaign across the country, they will intimidate and cause chaos everywhere, so that you cannot come outside to campaign, or you can be intimidated to come vote on voting day. It's about us. It's about us. When we show these people that when they chop rack, we can chop. When people know that they own a court and they know they come and do unorthodox things, and you can hear citizens, the weirds, they say we'll win the election, that will go to court. They already know that they will rake. And they think we'll sit down when we know that they rake, then we'll go to court. You'll wait for court. You'll wait for court. Court? No. You'll wait for court. When we know you rigged the election, we're not going to court because the court will rig the election for you. We're not going to court. Let me repeat. You can cut all the part and edit them, put it on your radio station. When you rig the election, we'll rig it out of the mansion. Period. We're not going to court. Because they say where there is no peace, where there is no justice, there can be peace. When the people don't trust the justice system of the country, you make unorthodox means by seeking redress possible. Election, Nathaniel McGill went on Spoon FM and Spoon TV. We have the recording. McGill said they will never allow Dillon to win the election. Election is not about who allows it. Election is about the will of the people who go to vote. So when it is the will of the people and you deny it on your allowance or non-allowance, then you will meet the people. You will meet the people. You will meet the people. Today, I listened to the president of the Liberal Council of Churches. I hear him calling on the U.S. government to please intervene because tension escalating. How tension will not escalate? When you have men of God, like what his name? Asa Winger, standing on the pulpit and think God will listen to that nonsense he was doing on the pulpit. Say, decreeing death and economic hardship on people who only thing they're doing is to call the government's attention to the wrong, to the ills in society. You have a bishop controlling a whole congregation who can move from behind government job. One, his nephew put him on a boat where they can sit and get bowl fee. He sat on the pulpit and decree and declare against Liberians whose only intention is to call out the ills in society for it to be corrected. That's why God in here his prayer, God heard that decree and declaration that Asa Winger did and put it back on George Weah's lap. That is why they can't find their bearing to govern this country. But Bishop Asa Winger, Senator Dillon said, you need to go flat on your belly, prostrate to God and ask for forgiveness. It is people like you, Bishop Asa Winger, that causing this country to disrespect and disbelieve the church or the religious people. It is people like you, Bishop Asa Winger, is the reason why when men of God sincerely speak to issues in this country, the people can say all the men of God in this country compromise. It is because of people like you. I will hope, I will wish that the men of God in this country will start calling their fellow colleagues out. The ones who are injuring the pulpit. The ones who are injured. You know here, Bishop Brown on board, the late George D. Brown. Did you hear Bishop Michael Francis on a board? Bishop Nan Dissing, Bishop Arthur Kula, what the other one name? Did you hear those people? Those people, when they stood on the pulpit in the name of God, the country will shake. The dictators will shake and bow. Nobody respect some of your friends' voices today because of people like you. What his name? Bishop Asa Winger. You are an embarrassment in this man's view. You are an embarrassment to the pulpit. It is because of people like you that the church as a whole, the religious community as a whole, is being disrespected. By the time men of God who faithfully serve God, who pray for this country, morally, when they speak to this country, generally the country think that all of them like Bishop Wingard them. The nonsense needs to stop. This is a country. It's not a clan. It's not a chiefdom. It needs to stop. December 11, CPP will fill candidates. You know, in Montserrado, this is no arrogance. Every polling room in Montserrado County will come first or second. Every polling room. Every polling room will either come first or second. That means we have copy of the neck tally sheet from every polling room. Because in keeping with the elections law, the first three candidates, the first top three candidates, first, second, and third, you are entitled to tally sheet for your poll watcher. So when my poll watcher, when our poll watcher get a tally sheet in their hand, posted on the board by neck people, and will now do the collation, the calculation, everything, and will know our result, and George Weah and his goons decide that they want to alter it, then you just find what you're looking for. Period. Period. CPP will have poll watcher in every room across this country. CPP will have poll watchers, and the poll watchers will bring in the pool watchers will bring in. They're not the ones that are looking for the transportation. Are not the ones that are looking for the transportation. But even the ones that are looking for transportation because everybody can afford are the ones who want the vote, the result over the transportation. The thing just we are then looking for, we're preparing as well. This nonsense will have to stop. Let me repeat, the nonsense will have to stop. You can't cover an entire country into submission. You can't cover the pulpit, whether it's in the church or the mosque. You can't cover everybody, even if you sponsor your own civil society or you can get civil society to be quiet. It is in the power. If the living human beings refuse to praise me, that Jesus talking, he will raise a stone, giving life to praise him. Meaning, you like it, you can buy all the cowards, all the ones who like their bellies, buy them. You will not buy everybody. There is always 3 Hebrew boys. There is always a Daniel who prepared to go in the lion den. There is always some 3 Hebrew boys who prepare to go in the fire. Everybody will not back down. You will not have people like Henry Costa then here will all year, Mo Ali then here, and then you think everybody will bow down. If the older guys who feel now they not struggle, they not bring us to this place, it's time for them to rest too. So let the Dillons then take over. And so if you don't hear from people like Dusty Wallow calling them, you can understand. You can hear from Dr. Sawyer then. Look, some people got to leave the stage. Some people got to leave the scene for other people to come on. And when you come on, you on the stage. Do it. Do it. Do it for country. Do it for country. People like Bishop Wingard and few of the quote-unquote men of God, greed for material things, are the reason why the entire country is disrespecting and disbelieving people of God in this country. The moral voices on the pulpit is being lost because of few greedy pastors in the name of bishop. What is that? CDC said 12 years. These people insisted that Ellen Johnson said he built a hospital in South Africa. Imaginary hospital. There's the same people who have no problem with George Weah building right in their faces. It needs to stop. Respect is earned. I'm a leader. I don't have problem people insulting me every day. If I'm not doing the right thing, people telling me to stop, and I'm not stopping. And some people, they want a way of expressing that to insult. Is insult good? No. If I stole a senator and they say, Dillon, you raw, that insult, they wouldn't describing what I did. If I put my hand in corruption and they say, look at that corrupt senator, that's not insult. They wouldn't describing what I did. They're describing what I am. Simple. Not an insult. If I'm not performing as a senator and they say I'm inept or incompetent, they're not insulting me. They're only describing what I am. That's an insult. What kind of country you can't even use the word nonsense when something is nonsense, then they say you rule or insult? What is that? You know what is insult? Insult is when you see the traffic light on and you pass by it. That insult. That indiscipline. That's insult. You know what is insult? Insult is when you are a lawmaker and you refuse to open the budget to scrutinize it and pass it just like that. That's insult to the people that put it there. That is insult. You know what is insult? Insult is when you rob from the people and then you get them small back in the name of being humanitarian to them. That is insult. You know what is insult? Insult is when you fail to provide leadership where leadership is required and needed. That is insult. That is insult. You know what insult is? Insult is when you're supposed to prosecute people who breaching the public trust and you fail to do it in the name of friendship or because your hand in the cookie jar yourself. That is freaking insult. Dillon, your tongue tied, that insult? Not insult. My tongue tied. Dillon, your leg dry. That insult? Not insult, my leg dry. Dillon, you get colored people, you know book. That insult? No, I know book. So what to get first there? Why you thin skin and you want leadership? And you thin skin, don't go take leadership. In a democracy, everybody will not like you, even if you pave in the streets with gold. Some people just don't want you there. You think citizens know that I'm overperforming them? Any citizen who have become senator of this country, you think they know? For 12 years, they have CDC senator. You think they know that in 1 year, I have outperformed without arrogance? Any CDC lawmaker, in terms of oversight, in terms of check and balance, no CDC lawmaker for 12 and a half years or up since we came back to democracy from Ellington to George Weah, no CDC lawmaker has a history of oversight, check and balance, accountability, transparency, come near close to my record. None. You didn't know? They just let me because I'm not who I am. And they're right. Because in a democracy, people have the right to their choice. If you're not their choice, you put gun on them, then like it. Simple. You must get there with them? No. Keep working. Sometimes, some of them, they are sore. Likely, they could be transformed to poor. Your work will speak. Not getting fair. Every small thing, so now they say, the other one I correct. Nah, you hate me. The other one I correct. And you enemy of the state. What is freaking that? What is that? What really is that? George Weah was senator for 3 years. I challenged him for 3 years to show me his legislative record. Match with mine in less than 1 year. The reason I don't talk much about Father, because I will meet him. I will meet him. When they finally put him on the ballot, I will meet him. So I don't talk much about Father. 1 year, loud muff gray. Loud muff gray. All the agreements that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government signed, CDCs were in the legislature. Jewel was there. All the time. George Weah was there for 3 years. Akaros was there for the entire second term of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Thomas Farrar was there from the day Ellen entered to the day she left, and he's still there. Buffer Chimo was kissing with Ellen until he wanted something from Ellen, some concession stuff, and Ellen couldn't give it to him. Then he turned to being a CDC, and then CDC say he the best man. When you leave, you in UP at the time you buy to CDC. So now you join CDC from UP, then you good. That was the case with what? Buffer Chimo. All these people passed all of these concession agreements that CDC and George Weah they can be talking about and blaming on Ellen. Okay. All about you president now. Call for review. I dare the president challenging. Call for review. I challenge Akaros Gray and the CDC clan that you're controlling the executive branch of government. You get your will almost over the legislature. You bring these concessions back so we can rectify them correctly. I challenge you. All the things Ellen rectified bogus agreement, you bring them now. Let's take out the bogus net from there so it can be proper. I challenge George Weah and his gang. You can do it. Okay, so in 12 years, Ellen signed quote-unquote 68 agreements and 62 were correct. In 1 year, George Weah signed 3 concession agreements, all were bogus. In 1 year, 3. Ellen at 68 in 12 years. So imagine if, God forbid, George Weah is over the country for 12 years. Imagine how many bogus agreements this country will have. Eaton D. bogus. Igbo map D. bogus. Anything they want to do, they borrow. They borrowing for anything because no innovation, no vision, no skills to attract investors, expand the economy, nothing to grow the economy, nothing. So everything that this government wants to do, we got to borrow money. Financing agreement, World Bank gave us $5 million. I've never seen an $80 million man rejoicing because somebody gave him $2 million. Okay? Everything we have to do as a country here. Under George Weah government, we can borrow the money, including feeding people in the name of stimulus package. I have never seen a government borrow money to feed people for 1 week. I've seen government or countries borrow money to develop the country or expand the economy. I've never seen it before, where a government will borrow money because they get out there to get money. They don't have the vision and the plan to grow the economy. So anything they have to do, they borrow money. 2 mile road, borrow money. Financing agreement, the World Bank just approved financing agreement. But then you see them clapping. I've never seen a people so dumb. I've never seen it. I have never seen it. You ask for accountability? No, you have committed sin. Under George Weah administration, George Weah and the thing they call accountability, the enemy, transparency, enemy, openness, enemy. Today, a credible world body has just reported that day 2020, before the 2020 end, over 500,000 Liberians in Liberia will get poor. Today, the issue is today, they're not Darius Dillon. They're not CPP. It's not COP. A credible international institution issued the report today that this 2020, 526,000 Liberians, that's a little over 500,000, will become poor to add to the ones that are poor already. And then these people tell you their president succeeding and making progress. Where progress? Progress where? progress with his new clothes and new Scooby. You know me, an old timer now. That thing I know. That this time we can call it thing slingers. Those days we used to call it Scooby. That thing the president was when they said that, that's Scooby. Everything they borrow. Everything they borrow. And when they borrow, you don't see what they do with it. Largely. And then they say, we must sit down here and clap. Trust me, we ain't going to clap. We ain't going to clap over nothing. We'll clap over something. We'll continue to make the suggestions. We'll proffer the ideas. And it's left to you and you guys to take it. When they say government around the world in democracy, most time when they say government, they're talking about the executive branch. Especially. We need to stop putting this country further downhill. In the name of, what do you mean by, because he can disrespect the president? Shut the heck up. Shut up already. The president disrespecting you by keeping you poverty. The president is insulting you to believe that they can rob you, like Zacchaeus, and time for election, they can't get you back. So you can agree to vote for the extension of your suffering. They are insulting you. And you agree to be insulted. When somebody who has the courage like Yeke and other folks like Henry Costa and other courageous people stand up to say, hey, this is wrong, then you can jump down their throats. Because you're used to suffering. You're used to poverty. Look at the people CDC used to demonstrate against. All of them back. That the same people, you see how you suffer with something for 12 years. You caused people. You denigrated them. You practically hated them for one George Weah Bennett. George Weah became president on your back. And the same people who you believe took the country downhill on Ellen Johnson said are the same people George Weah giving you, and you're happy to talk about them. Wilson Garfinley. Wilson Garfinley was senator throughout from 2006 to 2014. 9 years. CDC cussing every day. Every day CDC cussing. Today, they say they will die with Wilson Garfinley. Yeah, they will die with Wilson Garfinley because he went down there politically. I think what they did to Yeka today, well, thank God, we will be going to some parts of this country soon. We will be going to some parts of this country soon to politically campaign. The thing they call free, fair, transparent election means everybody must be given the space to move freely so long he or she is not violating the law. I think they did it Yeke today. We thank God they did it to Yeke and Mr. Cummings to tell us that, hey, you need to go in your room to plan, prepare for counter. You know when they take rock, rock, when they throw rock at you and you're running, the rock can follow you. When they throw rock at you, you throw rock at them, everybody can go find a way to dodge it. Let me repeat. When the people pick your rock and you're running, by the time the rock can follow you, by the time they can get strength to throw it. When they pick it up and you pick it up, they picking up the rock, you're picking up yours. They say, oh, let it go serious. When they throw it, you throw it, everybody, because rock get hard, everybody can find a way to hide. That nonsense they did to Mr. Cummings and Representative Yeke Koluba today was just, I think they're doing of God to tell us what their plans are across the country, to think they will cover some of us into submission. I will be going to bombing. I'm going to campaign for Sandra Johnson, the CPP candidate. I will be going to Grand Bassa County to campaign for my political leader, the candidate, the presumptive candidate of the CPP for Grand Bassa County under Liberty Party. I will be going to Kakata, Magibi, to campaign. I will go to Bong. I will go to Nimba. I will go to Lofa. As far as I can go. Yeah. You let's do it together. You turn rock, I turn rock. Or her. Then the police or the part on will come. The nonsense got to stop. You can take the whole video, carrying Joe we are around to net, and view it to find all the part that you're supposed to can catch me for talking something that is in violation of the law. Because I know what you're to do with my videos. Or you go edit the power you let you play on your radio station, say Dillon threatening to bring war. You go edit it. You turn rock, I will order my people to turn rock. Then the inter-religious council will come between, or when the rock start touching them, then they will know how to preach. You turn rock, I will order, instruct my people to turn rock. Then the international community will come, say we are further the white man's voice. Since our own voice can make us see reason, we turn rock at one another, then the white man's voice that we respect, he will come in the middle. Or the interreligious council will come in the middle. When the rock start touching them, then they will understand that they must be dealing with a friend who caused the country in believing all of them together. Enough is freaking enough. I'm not saying this because I must be senator. I'm saying it because I see this country passing the septic thing now. Under a grossly inept leadership of George Weah. Enough is freaking enough. You can pay people to hunt me. You can pay people to do that. I will be sitting down free. Free of heart. I don't look back like that. That your whole day money in your mouth. In George Weah's bedroom, in his cabinet meeting, when you're wearing his Scooby, everything that Dillon. Costa, oh yeah, Costa, oh yeah. What is that? And you doing the right thing, why you worry? I got one life to live. And that life was given to me by God. It will hurt my wife and my children. It will hurt my family. It will hurt people if it was taken away like that. But once it is the allowance, the permissive will of God that is you happy, of course, who am I? Born. Once you were born, you will die. Where, when, how, don't know. But George Weah and his people, you turn one rock, we turn one rock. Possibly two. Rock for rock. And you go beyond rock, trust me, we'll go beyond rock. That the thing about rock. When they pick your rock and you're running, at the time the energy can come for the rock to follow you. When they pick your rock, you pick up your own. Everybody can balance and say, oh, what's going on? When they chunk, you chunk. Everybody can balance the thought. Rock can see. Rock can see. So when they chunk, you chunk. See, this is the Liberians. They see beast in them, in some of us. But we know how to calm ours until you work it out to the point. When you take it to the zenith, the nonsense will have to stop. I'm repeating this. I will order my people, see dissent or anything in the name from the government. You turn rock, we turn rock. Election are fair play. So when you turn rock, I turn rock, that fair play. When you curse, we curse, that fair play. And is it free, fair, and transparent? Oh yes. The thing we respect, when we go and campaign somewhere, and the president put himself in the campaign, and he going campaign to that same place, we can understand that. Even if he going as campaign manager, he's still president, so anywhere the president is, they can block the road. We respect those kind of things. But if the president there, and they turn back to us, and he get it, he take microphone and tell people, he condemn me, we turn back there. Hello? Because they play the president, Wagner supposed to come from there. Then nonsense has to stop. We'll go to the election, and the people say, Dillon, you're tonta, or you fool, or so we want you again, and yet the result, I come home to Ghana. And the post say, even with your tartan, with your dry leg, with your tag yourself, we still won't keep here, and Joe, we don't want to take it. The interreligious council can't part. Period. The same applies to Nima, Basa, Bon, Magibi. It applies across the country. It applies across the country. Democracy is about the free will of the people, not about the imposition on them. As I'm closing, let me love my freedom calypso. I love my freedom calypso, yeah. As I'm closing, you turn rack. You please edit all the one you want edit. You play on the radio. Tell the people say Dillon threatening the country. The nonsense you are doing is more threatening. It's more threatening. It's inviting threats. I want to thank the Council of Patriots for the statement issued condemning the act committed against Mr. Cummings and Representative Yeke Koluba. I stand firmly behind and with the Council of Patriots in a statement that was issued. Let me repeat. I stand with, behind, in front, on top of, underneath that statement. I contributed to it. As advisor, the chairman on the advisory board, I approved it. We authorized or we advised, as we should do, the chairman of the Council of Patriots, Henry Costa, to sign on behalf of our organization. You're like you can play any kind of way tomorrow and say Henry Costa threatening the country. Every radio station I hear on our call, I say, Darius Dillon approve this message. And you're like arresting. It's time to start arresting. Yeke is the only person who, even if it's wrong, he's the only person who's supposed to get arrested, harassed, intimidated for traffic violation. He's the only person who's supposed to, especially as a lawmaker, he's the only person who's not supposed to ask questions, governance questions in the country. The nonsense has to stop. And you think you get beast in you? You want to wake hours, and you don't want to. And you don't want to. Every time we call for protest here, before I became senator, I was there first. I don't tell people, let go protest, then I stay home. When I became senator, COP called for a second protest, I was there. I was senator 3 months, 2.5 months. When Henry Costa, the chairman of the Council of Patriots, made an appeal to us to go help Justina Taylor from the clause of this government, we went there. I was senator. So before I became senator, I was with COP. I'm senator, I'm with COP. After being senator, maybe later on in the long run, after being senator, if COP still existing, I will still be there. I got issue with COP as the advisor. I deal with my people behind the curtains. I deal with the chairman, I deal with the board. Behind the curtain, majority, when we issue a statement, we stand by it. I influence that statement, I behind it, I on the side of it, I approved it. Every word COP issued in our statement signed by Henry Costa. God our blessing. The same way you're ready, we're ready. The nonsense got to stop. It has to. So having said that, let me find probably here now. Happy Sherry, I'm looking for our song. Freedom Calypso. I know. Yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. You turn rock, we turn rock. That wouldn't worry about what does it. You turn rock, we turn rock. And we turn rock according to the size. And sometimes to beat you back, you turn rock, sometimes we turn black. You turn 6 inch, we'll find 8 inch. The nonsense got to stop. The guy is tato. La woman web lego. Hey tato. Mantonta bagun aron la. Yeah. Let me leave it like that. The last word. In fact, all of us, if you want to put on your page, you turn rock or turn rock. Then the interreligious council will come part. When the rat touch them, then they will deal with some of their colleagues who kind of preaching, selling out, have made the country don't believe all of them or don't respect all of them together. You turn rock, we turn rock. Henry Costa told us in this country, poison versus durable. They brought us poison. And now, impact and affecting us. The election will be easy. That light for the dark. So they don't want to be doing nothing. All the camping, all the pool, you know, all the radio pool in this country, in Montserrado, we have one. All the radio pool in Grand Bassa County, Yombly has one. The most interesting part of the pool in Montserrado County is the pool that they have on Thomas Father radio station. We're leading him so bad they call the radio station or they say energy gone. We're leading him so bad, even on his own radio station. They call it radio station or they say energy gone. Okay, folks, it's time to go. It's time to go. I want to thank God for the chairman of the CPP, Mr. Alexander Cummings, whose life was saved today by God. His vehicle was damaged. His person was not injured. I don't think anybody on his entourage was. Mariah Yakula, thank God for you. Yeke Koluba, I'm calling he's a general. He's general. How many people? I can't jump on man. He's a general. I said, my man, he's a general. You buy a little I'm professional. Hey, Yeke is a damn good guy. Yeah, not everybody can polish it. Yeah, he's a damn good guy. I can say that. I know that, bro. You gotta support the guy. I mean, the man say, you feel that I committed crime, which I know I did. Let's do the court. Let me pay for my crimes. You say you did all that thing there, then you won't bring the court. Then you want me to get value with Yeke? No, Yeke said bring the court. I'm prepared to face the court. You say you do nothing. Why you won't bring a war crime court? You see, then it means I gotta side with and stand with Yeka. Okay. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow evening, no, Saturday we'll have a meeting with the Friends of Dillon in our chat room and on our teleconference call. Sunday, beginning Sunday, we'll begin fundraising right here. Own your pool, own your pooling center. You want us to win? Sponsor one pooling center. You see, we get money. We get money. This is political campaign. It's time for the candidate, me, to put my face to the camera and say, please help me. Let's mind the pool. We can win all the campaign, all this talk, all the excitement, all the radio polls, all the Facebook posts. We can win all. That campaign, the election itself is at the ballot box. That's where the decision is made. And you got to mind your pool. When you mind your pool, they can't cheat you. So each person will be asking people to own one pooling center. Meaning you will be responsible to fill the budget for that pooling center. But we'll explain it better on Sunday. We have Chairman Emmanuel Yato here. Let's start to raise the money for the pool washing, the t-shirts, all the other things that go with camping, this and that. If you don't have the pool washer and if you are not in that battle room appropriately, that place they won't take it from. So let's man it. And in order for us to man it, you sponsor it. Let's sponsor it together. Sunday we'll have the chairman here, Emmanuel Yato, to go over this in a way that it makes sense, because he's the proper person to bring it forth. My face will be to it so you know that I am involved and that I approve it. We'll start to raise money. These people have all the money. If they don't have it, they can borrow money in the name of the country and use it for Fala them. According to Thomas Fala. According to Mora Molo, that the president can go borrow money for the country or find money for the country in the name of the country and carry Jamaica research. So even if they don't have money, they can borrow money in the name of the country and then use it for their politics. So we will be appealing to you, our supporters. It is time for me to make personal appeal to you weekly or twice a week. Put my face to the camera and ask you for your support. Let's do this together. We'll win this election with over 300,000 votes. We'll send the message that going to 2023, it is the former CDC. Right here from Montserrado and across the country. We can do it. We need your help. Let's do it together. You have a candidate that you can be proud of. No arrogance. We are no injured. We are not perfect. We're trying to do the best we can to tell this country it can change with us. Only we have the character, the discipline, the passion to get the job done, and the willingness to serve. God bless you, and goodbye.